Today, we're going to learn how to create an engineering drawing effect, also known as a blueprint. Hey friends, I hope you're all doing great. So, what's the first step? Let's jump into Photoshop and create a new file. From the top panel, click on Print and choose any size you like. I'm going to work with A3 size, and I'll set the orientation to landscape. Also, make sure to switch from millimeters to centimeters here. Then hit Create. Now, for the second step, I want to add some offset margins around the edges of the page. So go to the View menu, scroll down, and click New Guide Layout. Now here, set the number of columns and rows to 1 each. And for the margins, which represent the offset, set all of them to 0.5 centimeters. Done. That's our second step completed. Moving on to step 3, we're going to start adding our diagrams. I'll go to the folder where I've saved my diagrams, but you can use any kind of image you want, there's no limitation. I've opened one of my diagrams. Press Ctrl+C. Go back to Photoshop and hit Ctrl+V to paste it in. I'll remove the top part of the image that I don't need, then right-click on the layer and choose Convert to Smart Object. Let's scale it down a bit. Okay, that was too small. Alright, I've placed the diagram in the corner. Next, press T on your keyboard to bring up the text tool. I want to add a text box here. The default font size is way too big, so I'll set it to 25 points from the top toolbar. That looks better, but the text is still a bit short. Let's duplicate it with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V to add more text content. Now, I'll pick another diagram, again Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and let's delete the top part of the image. To remove the white background, I'll press W and use the Magic Wand tool. Once that's done, right-click the layer and select Convert to Smart Object again. I'll move it to the corner, press Ctrl+T to scale it down, and make it fit nicely. Still a bit large. Let's scale it down further. That's better. I'll lower it a bit. We could add more text, but for now, this should be fine. Now, what about this empty area here? We obviously need to add another diagram. So, let's go back to our diagram folder. Again, it doesn't have to be a technical diagram. You can turn any image into a blueprint-style graphic. Let's bring in one more image and delete the unnecessary parts. Since this one isn't a smart object yet, it's easier to clean up. I'll press W here, but it can be a bit risky. So instead, let's right-click and convert to Smart Object first. So resizing it won't affect the quality. I'll move it to the lowest layer and resize it a bit. Now the composition is almost complete. Looks like we don't need more diagrams. I'll just adjust the sizes a little, but there's still one issue. Some areas are a bit empty. Now, what I did here isn't really ideal. I'm stretching the image a bit to fill the space. But you shouldn't do this. Try to pick a diagram or image that actually fits the layout naturally. Okay, the text looks good. Everything else seems ready. Now, let's move on to the fun part, creating the actual blueprint effect. So, once you've finished placing all your diagrams, images, and text, just like a proper layout, let's get to the main effect. This part requires your full attention. First, go to your top layer, then press Ctrl+Alt+Shift+E. This creates a merged version of everything visible below into one new layer. You can hold Alt and click the eye icon to confirm that it's all merged correctly. Alright, now with this new merge layer selected, we need to add 2 filters. Go to the top menu, click on Filter, then scroll down to Stylize, and from there, choose Find Edges. Boom, that's our first filter done. Now for the second filter. Click Filter again and choose Camera Raw Filter. If you don't see this option, no worries. I didn't have it either at first. Just search Download Camera Raw Filter on Google. It's a simple plugin and easy to install. Once inside the Camera Raw panel, go to the Geometry tab. Ignore the first three icons, click on the fourth one. Then click OK. This slightly flattens and straightens the image, which works great for our blueprint look. Next step, right-click on the layer and choose Convert to Smart Object. This will help maintain quality as we apply effects. Now, look at the bottom right panel of your screen. See where my cursor is? Click there and add a black and white adjustment layer. From here, you can play around with the sliders to fine-tune your look. For example, I wanted my lines to appear darker and bolder, so I adjusted the blacks and shadows accordingly. Just move the sliders until you get something that looks good based on your image. We've now applied 2 filters and a black and white adjustment. That's the base of our blueprint effect. Now, let's add some textures to make it feel more realistic. We'll need 2 textures, one for a grid paper effect and one for a paper background. For the grid, I just searched for line paragraph on the internet, and for the second one, I searched paper texture. Let's drag them both into the project. They're a bit small at first, so select both layers and press Ctrl+T to transform and scale them up. Move them around so they cover the whole canvas edge to edge. Now we've got these 2 layers selected. One is our grid texture, and the other is the paper texture. Select both of them, then go up to the Blending Mode menu where it says Normal, and choose a blending mode that works for you. Try different ones, and see what gives you the best blueprint feel. Are we done? Not quite. There are actually 2 more steps to finish this off. First, let's add a solid color layer on top. So, go down to the bottom panel, click the adjustment layer icon, and choose solid color. Pick a nice blue tone. This is the one I personally like. Click OK. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't anything change? That's because we need to change its blending mode as well. Set the blending mode of the solid color layer to screen. And boom! It gives that classic blueprint vibe. You can totally stick with this, or if you want to try something different like inverting the colors, you can do that too. Just go below the solid color layer, create a new adjustment layer, and choose Invert. See how the whole look flips? That's how you get the reversed blueprint effect. Turn it off and on to compare both versions. And that's it. With just a simple layout and a few filters, we've created a realistic engineering blueprint effect in Photoshop. It doesn't matter whether you use diagrams, images, or text. This method works with all kinds of visuals. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Have a great day.